Don't jump, Anakin.
No.
I got the high ground.
Hello there.
There's been no one for so long. Who are you?
I'm Ray.
Ray who?
Ray tarded.
George Lucas, next to you, who is the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the Earth?
Steve, that Star Wars boy. If I can do something and Steve says, oh, wow, then I won. Something that people can enjoy. Just somebody who's got a fetish with making the world to be the way he wants it to be. Sort of narcissistic.
Have you heard about Steve, that Star Wars boy's new YouTube channel?
I think it's a very important part of society, and I'm going to create a world where people can fly.
My secret Happy Burger sauce is the best on all of Jakku. How does it taste? Uh-oh, I forgot the pickles. Oh, there they are. This lid is on there pretty tight.
Hey, baby cakes, how's the new business going?
Why do you care?
Running a business is harder than you thought.
I can run an eatery way better than you can.
I suppose you don't need any help from a man.
Get out of my kitchen. Oh wait, can you open this jar of pickles before you go?
You do not cover your face. You are not Mandalorian.
Catch me outside, how about that?
Star Wars fun is coming your way with new Fistos. Twin golden rings of red dye number 38 and polystyrene start banging for 2 honey substitute flavored crunches in every Fisto. You can eat it with other stuff. Kid, flip the box. Kid, flip the box. You can cut out all these cool masks of your favorite characters. You can get them all, including a cross-eyed gunner, Blondie, and a robosexual. Eat the cereal. Fistos!
We celebrate our day of crack, a day of cocaine, a bag of joy we can all enjoy together joyously. A day that takes us through the hood, a day that we didn't die, a day that makes us want to celebrate the high. A day that brings the promise that one day we'll be free. To import, to transport, to possess, to sell, to buy, to smoke, to be.
I was a terror since the public school era. Bathroom passes, cutting classes, squeezing asses. Smoking blunts was a daily routine since 13. A chubby nigga on the scene. I used to have the tray deuce and the deuce in my bubble goose. Now I got the Mac in my knapsack, lounging black, smoking sacks up in axe and sidekicks with my sidekicks, rocking fly kicks. Honeys wanna chat, but all we wanna know is where the party at. And can I bring my gat? If not, I hope I don't get shot. Better throw my vest on my chest, cause niggas is a mess. It don't take nothing but frontin' for me to start something. Bugging and bucking at niggas like I was duck hunting. Dumbing out just me and my crew, cause all we wanna do is bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit. It's the N-O-G-O-R-I-O-U-S. You just lay down slow. It's the N-O-G-O-R-I-O-U-S. You just lay down slow. Bitches in the back looking righteous. In a tight dress, I think I might just hit it up with a little Biggie 101. How to tote a gun and have fun with Jamaican rum conversation. blunts in rotation. My man Big Jock got the Glock in his waist and we're smoking, drinking. Got the hooker thinking, if money smell bad, then this nigga Big is stinking. Is it my charm? I got the hookers eating out my palm. She grabbed my arm and said, let's leave prom. I'm hitting skins again. Rolled up another blunt for the Heineken. Niggas start to loke out, a kid got choked out, blows were stoned, and a fucking fight broke out. Can't we just all get along so I could put hickeys on the chest like little Sean? Get a pissy drunk off a Dom Perignon, and it's on, and I'm gone. That's that party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit. It's the NOGORIO. US, you just lay down slow. It's the NOGORIO. US, you just lay down slow.
That's much better than the one I had in the movie.
What's up, everybody? You ready to get high as fuck and party and bullshit? Got the Blue Milk Special with Crazy Mad, and filling in for Arrogant Ape tonight. We have Modest Macaque.
Yes, the artist formerly known as Arrogant Ape. Yeah. We're about to educate everybody on what a macaque is and why they are indeed so modest.
What's up, Crazy Mad?
What up? And I just want to say, Felix, thank you for that brilliantly retarded song. But I guarantee you that you no longer have the most retarded song on this show after this time.
We talked you. Just wait. All right, what are we doing tonight? You guys want to? Let's say hi to the chat before we get started here. Yeah, we got Glutton for Punishment, back for more. Corey Barton. What's up, Corey?
Hell, Corey.
We might be able to accommodate your lust for the alien babes tonight, maybe. That's you, Ape. Welcome, Ape. Mo Biggs. What's up? We got something you'll like, especially tonight, I hope. D-Wag. What's happening?
What up, D-Wag?
Who else we got here? Kiwi Skirt. Thanks for coming. Aldous. What's up, Aldous? And our boy Felix, who writes awesome lyrics. And Angela. What's up, Angela? Thanks for coming back.
Angela hates me now.
What'd you do?
I did nothing. I did nothing wrong.
Oh, our boy Joe Ball.
Hey, Joe.
Ball.
Good to see you.
What's happening, man?
Did we get Aldous in there?
I see Aldous. Same again. Party and bullshit.
Party and bullshit. Aldous and Odin had a great stream that I couldn't listen to all the way, but they just tore apart the new Napoleon movie, and it was well deserved, from what I understand. I trust their judgment on that.
It's not good.
Apparently not.
Well, it might be good for everyone who's not a historically accurate historian.
Is he black now?
I mean, I don't think so.
This is true, Mo Biggs. It's a serious conundrum.
Macaques can't even decide if their species have tails or not. Get it together.
Yeah. It's between the legs. It must be macaque, right?
I was wondering when we were going to get our first macaque joke.
Yeah, Ridley Scott didn't want to be historically accurate either. Yeah, there's an argument to be made that, you should have fun with your movies. It doesn't all need to be a history lesson. But, after a certain point, it's like, come on, a figure like Napoleon?
Well, yeah, why would you make a movie about a historical figure and not want to be historically accurate.
I mean, they can't all be as historically accurate as Braveheart was.
Pretty accurate.
You just killed Odin from afar. He's listening 20 hours from now, and he just died in his car.
I know.
No.
I know. That was strictly for Odin.
Pick a fun historical figure. Don't pick Napoleon. I mean, he's interesting. But how about like a romantic comedy about Custer? That could be interesting.
That would be interesting.
Stand.
Oh man, I think that's about it in the chat here. What are we talking about today?
I guess, since there's a very major lack of good Star Wars content to talk about, that we're going to return to the one that we like, even though some of our chat doesn't really like it that much. Some of them do, though.
Aldous says, I hate you all right now.
What do we do?
We're talking about Napoleon, and he's justified in hating us all.
We're going to talk about Andor, episode 7 through 9. So some of you might hate us here in a minute, but I have to say, I was just watching it, and I really like this show.
Yeah. We're back to Ann Snore. Let's go.
This chick is mad all the time.
She is. Sometimes understandably so.
We're gonna keep it brief though. We're gonna
Yeah, we're not 3-hour breakdowning anymore on this show.
We're gonna just hit a couple of highlights and then play our videos. And there's new episodes of Droids, and we're gonna hold Mo captive here till the end with that.
We're not doing a 3-hour breakdown, but Mo is going to break down in 3 hours. That's what's happening here.
Mo,
exactly.
We knew going into this. Mo, we knew going into this that you would hate that we were going to talk about Andor, so we got 2 segments tonight, especially for you.
Aldous says she just needs to party and bullshit.
Yeah.
Some dick would probably help too.
That's what's his name? Cyril. He wants to give it to her, but she said she's gonna have him arrested.
I know. That's what all the ladies say to me. Quit stealing my moves, Cyril. I followed you to work. So, what happens in this first episode, episode 7? We've got a whole hubbub because of the big Aldani heist. Everybody's going crazy.
Started right off with Cyril eating his cereal, and his mom. We were talking about it a couple weeks ago. His mom was commenting on his collar that he had tailored, and she says, "It says a lot about you." He says, "What does it say, Mother?" She says, "It says I need your attention. I'm desperate for it," or something like that. And then he says he got a promotion, and then she was all happy, and then
I got that exact bit right there.
Collar.
What about it?
It's high. You've had it.
There's just blue milk.
Tailored.
Everything
tailored.
says something, Cyril. I've tried to make you understand that. You've resisted.
It's like not get struck, talk over it, whatever.
Yeah,
What does
good
it
idea.
My collar saying?
Here's something.
He says, "What does my collar say?"
What does my collar say? What kind of shirt is he wearing?
I don't know.
It's a brown shirt.
It's brown.
Oh yeah. See,
Because he's a
symbology,
brown shirt.
He's a commie.
Mo said she looks equally as attractive.
A commie
as
Nazi.
Oh, those are the red shirts, Steve.
Yeah. The brown shirts are the Reichstag guys, right?
Yes, those are the guy in the beer hall putsch. That's right.
Okay. So
Did you hear my collar saying?
What does my collar say?
Look at me. I don't believe in myself. I am desperate for approval.
She's mean.
Collar.
What about
She's
it?
awful. She's such a horrid human being, and she lays it out for him though. Like, what are you looking for? You're looking for approval, because she never got he never got approval from her.
Dude,
Continues not to get approval.
I absolutely love the Cyril and his mom scenes. Like, she's such an overbearing shrew. And, like, he's just so depressed, and he plays it so well. And yes, Miro is equally as attractive as Shin.
You take that back.
See, this is the thing, Mo, is it actually is. If you stop and, like, really pay... This show, like, it demands your attention to really enjoy it. But if you listen to these conversations, they are pretty interesting, most of them. And you think for Star Wars that two people sitting in a room talking would not be more interesting than space whales and spaceships flying through space, shooting lasers and lightsabers and all. But it actually is way more interesting than any of their other shows.
Yeah. You know what? I was talking to Steve backstage about this, and the way I described it is that you don't fold your laundry and watch Andor.
No, you gotta pay attention.
You gotta pay attention. You can pop on I, Frankenstein or freaking Venom. You can fold the laundry. You don't need to pay much attention, but you do something else and watch Andor, you're gonna miss out. That's all it is. And that's why we don't show you any of it. That could be really interesting, Mo.
Yeah.
Could be really interesting.
So, it's not just drudgery, though. I mean, they're building the Rebel Alliance, and like Forrest Whitaker alone as Saw Gerrera is worth watching this show. That dude,
he is great. Where does it come up? Like in episode?
He comes up, and I don't know. Luthen goes to try to.
It's either an 8 or 9. He shows up in both of them, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, Corey, look, those are just for you.
Yeah. Got to keep the audience's attention.
We cater.
Somehow.
We got something for Mo and something for Corey. If any of you have requests, put them in the chat.
All this says, I watch the show and watch Andor. Shit.
This is the dude from Rogue One that I forget his actual canon name, but they call him Two Tubes.
Two Tubes, yeah.
Tubes.
I don't know why they call him that. Why do you think they call him that? Who knows?
Might be because the tubes. Yeah, here he is. He's telling him, "You got to help us," and he says, "No." What's Krieger? He's like, "You got to help our other rebel buddy Krieger," and he's like, "Krieger's a Nox. He's stupid," and he doesn't want to help him.
Dude, it's almost like I love that exact scene and had to get the video downloaded because it's great. Whitaker's performance in this is awesome. So just to kind of set things up, Luthen is working with this character in the Star Wars universe who you would describe as what, like an anarchist, right? Anarchist rebel fighter.
Saw goes back even before they cast him as Forrest Whitaker or sold it to Disney. He was in season 5 of the Clone Wars, and they were almost like what are they called? Down in South America, I can't think of the word now. Like they were guerrilla fighters on his home planet of Andor, and the Republic came and trained him and gave him weapons, and he was actually trained in combat by Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Ahsoka, and fought with them where his sister died, and he became very jaded. And they were on the side of the Republic in the Clone Wars, and he hates the Separatists, and a lot of the rebels are Separatists. And he doesn't want to work with them, and he doesn't like them. And Luthen's trying to tell him, like, you got to put that behind you. We all have to work together. And he's like, I'm not putting my people at risk to work with Separatist scum. But he's got this thing. He knows Darth Vader personally. And if you see right here, he doesn't have any of those mechanical legs and arms and stuff like he did in Rogue One. So I'm almost half curious if he doesn't. Somewhere in my imagination, I've just filled in that Darth Vader cut his legs off with his lightsaber. But I'm very curious to see if they're gonna bridge that into Rogue One and have him come back.
And Saul actually doesn't just hate the Separatists. Like, he goes through a whole list of all these different
Oh yeah, that part.
cells of the rebellion and what they are and how he hates them all.
I got that video queued up right here.
Here, hit play. Where is it?
I think that's a picture.
Okay, that's a picture. This one.
That's us. Here, let me share it again. Let's see here. I'm going to share it again. Here we go. They're lost. Lost.
Okay.
Do it on your own. Go together. Krieger's a separatist. Marpe's a neo-republican. The Gorman Front, the Partisan Alliance, sectorists, human cultists, galaxy partitioners.
How many of these are you familiar with, Steve?
Like named groups, not really too many of them. As like general, rebel factions, they all sound like, the pre-rebel alliance, and it makes sense that if it's called the Rebel Alliance, that there's, other groups that formed an alliance. So this is, the Rebel Alliance didn't just spring up out of nowhere. They united all these other smaller rebel groups, and Saul is very resistant to it, and he's got one of the richest and most powerful, longest standing groups of all of them. So he has great influence, even though he hates Mon Mothma and all of the other rebels. He thinks some of them are evil separatists, and he thinks some of them are cowards, and he thinks some of them are stupid. And he says right in here, he says, only I have clarity of mind.
Clarity of vision.
That's what, yeah.
Yes.
They're lost. All of them lost. Lost. What are you, Luther?
What are you, Lucy?
That's a great scene. I love the scenes between them two. Even from the beginning, their first interaction, Whitaker as Saul Guerrero is playing a guessing game. Yes.
He does have righteous indignation.
All up in there. Absolutely. Yeah. So the first time they meet, Saul is like guessing with Luthen, like, the Aldani heist. Was that you? Luthen's like, oh, I was guessing that was going to be you. They're neither of them are really showing each other their full hands, or at least Luthen definitely isn't. I think Saul is pretty honest about who he is, like on the face. You know who you're working with, and that's why he hates the politicians who are two-faced, right? That's why he's trying to figure out who Luthen is. Like, are you a two-face, or are you in this as much as I am?
I mean, we get several great acted scenes. Like, that scene there is Forrest Whitaker and Stellan Skarsgård, like, and they both kill it. And there's an earlier scene I made a note of where Luthen is in Mon Mothma, Genevieve O'Reilly, comes in to Luthen's shop, knowing who he is. Like, she's in the rebellion, he's in the rebellion. They're like the bones of the rebellion. And they get into an argument because Luthen did the Aldani heist, and Mon Mothma knew it, and she's like, there's no turning back now. And Stellan Skarsgård's like, of course there's no turning back. There's no way to not turn back now.
Right. I'm really glad you brought that scene up, actually, because there's a lot of symbolism in what they do in this scene. Because what is Mon Mothma's cover? Well, she's coming to return the gift that she got for her husband, saying he didn't really appreciate. She didn't think he liked it, right?
He liked it, but he didn't love it. She wants
he liked it, but exactly right. He liked it, but he didn't love it. So that gift was the two-faced idol, right? The goddess and the serpent of the underworld sharing the same mouth, right? paralleling Mon Mothma's and Luthen's own like two-faced nature, right? The dual lives they have to live, the dual realities they have to live in, the underworld and the overworld. She trades that in for a weapon, as he's describing what kind of weapon was made that hasn't been used. I forget the exact phrasing. It was something like that, right? That weapon is a monk's cudgel. It's supposed to be maybe ceremonial, maybe defensive. Is there another monk's weapon you can think of that might have been intended as defensive, but was later used in an offensive manner that ultimately led to a whole series of changes that were pretty bad for the Galactic Republic, right?
Yeah.
All these neat little layers, right?
Show one of them Twi'leks for Corey.
Okay. Hold on. Let me find
back,
that, Corey. Pepper him in every like 30 slides or slow. See here. Am I slurring? I'm just drinking water here. There we go. There's an Ewok.
That looks just like an Ewok. Yeah. Zoom in on her face. I don't know.
Embiggen. Okay, let's see here.
Saying pass,
Oh.
maybe.
Well, I mean, we can always show Corey Bix Colleen. She's fine.
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
Dude, for real. What a fox.
And I saw her running in an episode that we're at some point, and I was like, damn, that girl's got a butt on her.
Yeah, very pretty. But yeah, so you have the exchange between Mon Mothma. She realizes things have gotten serious. It really changes the game for her, and I don't think she was ever really comfortable stepping out of the role that she had, but now she's kind of realizing her hands forced. She's going to have to make some serious moves. All these little scenes have consequences for each of these characters going down the line, right? Like the meeting between Luthen and Saw Gerrera to get in contact with Krieger, right? That has an impact because Krieger's mission and whether or not it succeeds or fails and why it may succeed or fail is going to be important to Saw Gerrera later on, right?
Yes. You are correct.
Yeah.
There is.
Sorry, Mo Biggs. I don't mean to do that.
We have a whole Ewok segment coming up, though. Just wait. Won't be that much longer.
I do have a note for one of the things that I actually dislike about this Andor show the most, right?
Mm.
And this is Andor's actual arrest.
Oh, for real?
Yes. Well, Andor he's being searched for, he's being hunted on Ferrix by the stormtroopers, by the Empire, right? They're after him. And then also, he's complicit in the Aldani heist, right?
Mm.
So, like, he's wanted throughout the galaxy for these things, and he accidentally gets arrested going to the store.
That's how shit happens, man.
In some where he's already disappeared, he just gets I really don't like that at all. Like, I was like, there's multiple things he could get arrested for. Not accidentally going to the store is one that I'm not really.
I don't know. It happened to me. Just try to go get some smokes. Next thing you know, cops are all up in your face.
This is really the story of Steve Worster, isn't it?
It is, man.
Oh.
I'm like, I identify with that.
It's interesting. It points to the weaknesses of the Empire because there isn't a bit of an oversight that they didn't check like a database to see if he was wanted for something, right? So what happens is there are a bunch of people running. We don't even know what they're doing. They could be defacing some sort of a building. They could be actively stealing something. They might have just like tapped a stormtrooper on the shoulder and kind of bugged him, right?
Well, they actually do say that it was anti-empirical speech and rally.
Anti-imperial speech.
Yes.
Okay. What does that mean, though? It can literally be anything. Like, you guys suck. Oh, that's anti-imperial.
It's a slippery slope. That's why you get canceled on YouTube and whatnot.
Yeah, true. Good point.
That actually does happen in Rogue One, remember? He just says, fuck it, I'm not going to run anymore, and he just stands there and dies. And I heard, when you die, you shit, usually. So
usually.
That all actually happened. Well, if you haven't eaten any food in a long time, you might not shit when you die.
That would be really embarrassing if, you really tried to when you died and just had nothing in the tank. Just kind of made air.
They say it on South Park all the time, right? When someone dies, they shit their pants.
Yeah.
Words.
The scene's kind of cool, though, because you got our boy Whitwer in the scene. I really like that touch, by the way. There's a lot of great cinematography
It
in
looks
the
like
show.
a beach. Like a beach window at a beach place.
Boom. Right there. Just hanging out. You blink, you miss it. Don't fold your laundry, folks.
I just throw my laundry on the floor in a pile. I never fold it.
Excuse me? You keep looking around.
Try them all right.
Basket even for.
You a part of it?
Part of what?
Don't play dumb.
So he just comes up and starts harassing him, basically. He sees him walking briskly and he's like, what are you doing?
They want your ID. Let me see some ID. I smell marijuana.
What's that you just threw on the floor?
Yeah.
Oh, Mo Biggs, they actually do that. That's right. The Empire does that.
Which one?
They do kill off the black guy.
Oh, yeah, they do. They're racist.
But they do, for real. They kill Clem. That's another cool scene. You have flashbacks to Clem getting killed in episode 7. Clem being Andor's adoptive father. And at first in the flashback, when it goes back, it's Andor, aged up. But then it cuts to Clem and then cuts back to Andor, and he's a kid again in the flashback.
I totally didn't. I must have missed that.
Man, whatever you're doing,
Folding
washing
laundry.
dishes, put them in the dishwasher.
I was folding laundry, my bad. I was too distracted by Bix.
I don't blame you. Goodness. She really truly let's get a good look at this gal. She gets tortured a little later, and that's sad. By the way, what is Cyril playing here? Because there's no way this is work.
I think it's Zelda 1.
Dude, he's playing Pokemon Yellow. It's gotta be.
Mo says, you know what's not a cool name? Clem.
I knew a guy named Clem before.
I've never met anyone named Clem before.
I knew this other guy who just called everybody Clem.
Clem is a name you hear in 1850s.
Mm-hmm. Or in southeastern Ohio.
It's like Opal or...
That's a cool name, Clem.
I like that, yeah. Clem got into the middle of a scuffle. People were throwing rocks at the...
yeah, he told him stop. And they turned around and just saw him and thought he did it. And they killed him. Look at the helmets. It tells you the time period by the clone helmets. They're in between episode 3 and episode 4. You can just tell they're a earlier version.
Yeah, absolutely. What were we talking about earlier?
I forget.
Okay, that's a good sign. Oh, yeah, that's right. We were going to look at Bix, but I do want to point out something. Mira has this nervous tick where she pulls at her collar. Right? She does it when she's getting gussied up, and she does it like in an earlier episode. I didn't notice it until later. There's this fixation about collars and like holding the neck in this show. You've got Yularen here, which great to see Yularen, right? Talks about tightening his grip, right?
Yeah.
The Empire tightening their grip, which parallels like the line that Leia said to Grand Moff Tarkin. Both Cyril and Miro seem very fixated on their collars. I don't know what it is. They seem to like a tight leash on them, you know? And when they feel their master pulling, they adjust. They make adjustments. Oh, you might be right there. You might be right.
It's all rhymes. They all rhyme.
They all rhyme. Yeah, man. So they talk about like
how far into this? What are we on the first episode?
Well, we've jumped a bit. We jumped to where it was cool. We've done a bit of episode 1. You know, Cyril gets this job at this really depressing facility, like future cubicles that looks awful, right?
Yeah.
We get
Twitter Trust and Safety Committee.
Exactly.
The Val scene.
Yeah, this is Mon Mothma's cousin on the left, and this is Luthen's assistant on the right, correct?
Correct.
Exactly. Yeah.
And she's talking, where's Luthen? Where's Luthen? And she's like, you know, this is secret, not, you know, what do you know, keep us on the down low, don't make a scene and all this shit.
I'd say there's one more good scene in episode 7, and that's when Andor, because Andor hits it big on the Aldani heist, and he comes back to Ferrix at one point and meets with his mother Marva and tries to get her to disappear with him.
Yeah,
like
she does.
bring her with him. And she says she ultimately decides she's done running. She's here to fight. But she knows that Andor can't stay because they will torture him, arrest him. So he has to go, and she doesn't hold it against him.
Right.
And then she says she's inspired. She's going to join the rebellion because if brave people can do what they did on Aldani, then she can do it too. So he's sitting there like, fuck, I'm the one who did that. She doesn't even know that. He doesn't want her to do it. And now she's inspired by what he did. So he's like, fuck.
Yeah.
No, Mo. I don't believe she gives that speech at all in Andor.
Yeah, she doesn't say that. She doesn't say there's a Jedi in all of us. I think that was probably Rey. Sounds like something she would say.
That's probably why this show is great. There's no Jedi whatsoever. Honestly, they don't have to rely on that crutch, you know. That's just me. It's like, let's.
What were you saying, Crazy? There, you're leading to the part where he says, "I'll worry about you." Is that what you're going to?
I was just basically saying this one scene is probably the one. It's one of the better scenes in this episode.
He says, "I can't leave you. I will worry about you all the time," and she says, "That's just what love is."
Exactly. Yeah, brilliant scene, well acted. And after that, Andor soon gets picked up by that KS unit. I would say that this is a good scene too, between Tay and Mon Mothma. Tay is like an old flame / old friend from her home planet. Comes over to visit her, and they have this like little interplay where they're trying to figure each other out. Like they're trying to figure out just how much they dislike the Empire. And Tay kind of like lets slip that like he really just doesn't like what they're doing at all.
He says, you
And-
might not want to talk to me about that. You might find my politics a bit strong for your taste. And then she's
Exactly.
just like, bingo, that's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, I think it's even more than that, though. It's not just what I wanted to hear; it's like what I needed to hear.
Yeah.
She had this sort of facade.
They
where
got
it's
this
like,
problem going where they moved around a bunch of money for the rebellion, and there's a 400,000 credit discrepancy that they need an accountant and a banker. And that dude knows, and he's going to help her.
Mo's going hard in the paint. He said that's probably why this show is great. There's no Jedi whatsoever. Not having a Jedi is definitely what makes Star Wars so special. And then he said, I can't wait for the new Ninja Turtles series with no ninjas.
Oh, I probably have the worst takes in all Star Wars. I apologize.
There is some Jedi stuff towards the very end, and there are some kyber crystals and those giant lightsaber things.
Yeah, but they're,
man.
Well,
and when Saw Gerrera says to Luthen, he says, "What are you?"
Well, he's talking about politically, what is he?
Yeah, I know, but as you're watching it, that's what we've all been thinking. What are you? You know, is he connected somehow to the Jedi or the Republic, Secret Service, or does he predates the Empire? His story. I mean, look how old he is, and he's got all this background. So, what put him in this position of underground power with all these connections and what is he?
I would pay money. I would pay Mo Biggs money to actually give this and watch all the way through.
The original Star Wars: A New Hope has three scenes that talk about Jedi, and the rest of it is, moisture farming, space bars, shooting at each other with guns, blasters, and flying in spaceships, doing dogfights, and Empire Strikes Back. Like half of it's all about Jedi, but it's just Luke in a swamp. And all the really, really cool parts are in Cloud City and the Battle of Hoth, where there's very little Jedi action until they actually, do the lightsaber battles at the end. I mean, Jedi has a lot because it's like all in the beginning and the end, but it's like there's so much in Star Wars that there's plenty of room to have a show that's not about the Jedi.
That's a good one. Oh.
Women like shows that have drama.
This has a lot of it. There's a lot of setup and payoff. I like this moment here. They're like behind their webs that they're slowly building together. It looks like a web here.
Yeah.
And over here, where is it? I think I saw it. Yeah, there's a mouse droid that comes by, and Cyril's getting his first tour, and Cyril straight up jumps out of the way of it because it's not moving. So you think about like the most insignificant part of the Empire, it might just be the mouse droid, right? If not the trash squid that's just hanging out in the compactor. And even Cyril moves out of its way. You know what I mean? Like he's insignificant. Very much so. Little tiny moments kind of tell us about these characters. That's most of episode 7. I mean, Yularen comes in and says we're cutting down on people. Got Andor meeting with Bix and kind of paying up his debts. He plays shaving a haircut to meet her, which was weird, but whatever. And Cyril gets his job. Andor gets arrested. There's a good amount of work here with Tay and Mon Mothma, but after that, more or less it here, right?
Yeah, that's episode 7. It's pretty good.
Hell yeah, it's very good. I like the ending shot because it shows Andor going to jail, and then Cyril basically in work prison.
Yeah. All right, let's
Like,
move on to the next part of our show. Today we have a very brand new segment, a very special feature. Let's just roll it. Here we go.
hell yeah.
Fire in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, reading Rebels. I can go anywhere. Friends to know and ways to grow. We're reading Rebels. I can be anything. Take a look, it's in a book. We're reading Rebels. We're reading Rebels. We're reading Rebels. We're reading Rebels. We're reading Rebels.
We're going for the EGOT with that.
The
Yeah, we got
Ewok
a special segment. We're gonna read a very awesome book called Wicket Goes Fishing: An Ewok Adventure. It's by Melinda Luke and illustrated by A.O. Williams. So one day, it was spring in the Ewok village, and Wicket was very excited to go fishing because he has a new fishing pole and he's going to catch a lot of giant trout. So he goes and he gets that's Baga, his Bordock. So look how happy he is. He loads up his fishing pole and he's going to go fishing, but look. You didn't know this crazy. Look, Wicket also has a sister. Her name's Winda, and she's real small. And Wicket's mom, Shodu, says, you have to take Winda fishing with you. And he's like, that's a bummer. So they go out, look, he's pissed. He's like, I don't want to take her. And see, they go off fishing. And look, she throws all the freaking bait on the ground.
What a jerk.
She falls asleep, and then Wicket tries to go fishing with all his bait's gone. He's totally pissed. And then she throws his fishing pole, and it lands in poison ivy. Look.
Oh, dude.
I know.
This is why you don't take women fishing.
Exactly.
Dude, the Ewoks are naked too, so you step in poison ivy, it's done for.
So he goes home, his mom is like, don't be mean to your little sister, and he's grumpy. And he has poison ivy. So he goes to see Logray, the medicine man. It gives him something for his poison ivy, but it turns out it's like space peyote.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because look, he starts having this vision. Look, he's with his
Get
brother.
the hell out of here. What?
He just stay tuned. He's with his brother Wichi. See, look, he's having a vision. And look, he's like, Wichi, let me come with you. And Wichi's grumpy. He's like, I don't want you to come with me. And look, Wicket drops all his arrows. Fuck. And then look, he tries to shoot a rock on a bow. And he breaks the string. And look, Wichi's pissed. He's like, Wicket! He says, I've had enough of you for one day. Go home and leave me alone. You've ruined everything. Yeah, I should actually like read. So. So hurt and confused, Little Wicket returns home, and he's very, very sad. If I ever have a kid brother or sister, I'll never, ever be mean to them, he decided. Just then, he like comes out of his psychedelic trip, and he realizes, oh, I've been mean, just like Weechie. And so he goes and he tells her, I wasn't very nice to you today. I didn't mean all those things I said to you. I just forgot how hard it is to be the youngest. And then Window gives him a big hug. And before they go to sleep, Wicket says, how would you like to go fishing tomorrow?
Aw.
The end.
So it stands to reason that the moral of the story is if the old man hands you tonic, it's probably chronic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you go to medicine, if you go to a medicine man who lives in a hut, he might give you something to make you trip out.
I have tinnitus. You got something for that? No, I got DMT though. Let's go, kid. That was brilliant.
I think it was like probably space mushrooms or something like that.
It's got its
Microdosing.
Well, that was wonderful. How did the audience feel about the first official reading?
Was that better than Andor?
Probably.
What the hell happened?
Chad woke up all of a sudden.
Maybe there we go.
Oh, did I lose something?
No, I think we're good.
Angela says, bravo. Thank you. Kiwi says it's 1,000 times better than Andor. Dang, Kiwi,
So
I thought you were on the side of Andor.
For everybody.
Oh,
really, our
man.
problem is when we're like, what should we talk about? If we're going to talk about Star Wars and there's nothing new going on, there's not that much cool stuff to choose from. And no one wants to like talk about like stuff that is really old and you guys don't have access to. You know, we could talk about some old comic books or something that's actually pretty cool, but you know, how many of you have read all of them or know what's going on? So like, I mean, we could talk about like news, like the future news, but it's all just the same crap. Like, oh no, they're gonna make it woke and lame and gay and whatever. So I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't even talk about Star Wars anymore.
Oh, jeez. Steve is going through a midlife crisis on stream.
Yeah, I am. I'm just like, what the fuck, man? I saw that one dude. What's his name? Star Wars Theory. Was it him?
Yes.
And
He said he's
not
done with
going to
Star
do
Wars.
Star Wars anymore. Well, it's like if your name is Star Wars Theory and you have a giant YouTube channel based on Star Wars, and you all of a sudden wake up one day, like, what's he going to do? I know, Mo. That's what I've been thinking.
That's a lot of content for sure.
Zero, Mike Zero News.
Well, Mike Zero's news is the same every day. Kathleen Kennedy is getting fired. And also,
Doomcock's way more accurate because he has a Hollywood insider named Sparrow.
there's a civil war inside Lucasfilm.
Oh yeah, Favreau and Filoni are versus KK.
That's the Mike Zero news for the last 6 years.
Okay, Mo,
Mobius is kinda right.
We'll put those in the queue.
Absolutely.
That is a good idea.
Consider it done. I was truly impressed by the Ewoks like animation. There's some like, I don't know, there come some sequences that are really well done, like too much for like a kid's early morning cartoon sort of deal.
The thing that people try to like rewrite history is if you were alive in 1983, and when Return of the Jedi came out, and the action figures, like they kept putting out the Ewoks, they were selling the crap out of them. They had 8 different Ewoks in a line of 110 figures or whatever, and then a whole series of 6 more from that. You know what I mean? And if you went into a bookstore in that day, the entire front of the store would be filled up with these Ewok books. And I mean, Ewoks were all the rage. And everyone tries to act like now that Ewoks sucked and they ruined Star Wars. But in 83 and 84 and 85, Ewoks were fucking crazy. And by like 85 and 86, people got burnt the fuck out on Ewoks. I mean, they had 2 television movies, 2 seasons of a cartoon, and it's because they were popular as hell in 83 and 84, and everybody loved them.
Well, I would say that today the baby Yoda is the Ewoks of that time.
But not as cool because he doesn't like throw spears.
No, but they're the
stormtroopers and stuff.
They're the merchandising for the little kids.
Sure, but the Ewoks have like this whole like culture and backstory you can build on it. That's what the movies like intended to do. It's like, here's this little pocket of the Star Wars universe. Let's just focus on that for a bit. They're, little stranded family, bunch of Ewoks find them. Let's have fun with that.
And then murder all of them in the first 2 minutes of the next movie.
Holy cow, dude, that was dark. Oh my gosh. You don't even see the mom on screen, like, talking. She's face down in the dirt.
Yeah, the kid just drags her into the hut and it explodes.
Her brother gets blown up or something. Oh, man, it's nuts. Oh.
He didn't fuck with the Ewoks too much. On that one Blu-ray, that final edition in 2008 that I was talking about last week, he made the Ewoks, some of their eyes blink now in the close-ups.
That's a little strange.
It doesn't look bad unless like you've seen it the other way, and then you're like, what? What are we gonna do now?
Well, I got
I like the Sarlacc better in the special edition where it has that big mouth. It looks.
Oh, really?
The other one just looks like a butthole, kind of. This one.
Yeah, I agree. The Sarlacc.
It's got like this big beak mouth. That part's cooler.
The Sarlacc is definitely an upgrade from the special edition.
Certain parts of the special editions are definitely an upgrade. Cloud City, all the windows they put in is super awesome.
Yeah, the expanding of all the cities. They expanded Mos Eisley. They expanded Cloud City.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, they've changed every single version of Star Wars that has ever come out has a different sound mix on it. From one VHS release to the next, to the DVDs and Blu-rays and whatever. And like you'll notice when Luke falls off the on Cloud City when he jumps down the pit, like sometimes he screams and sometimes he doesn't. And when Han Solo's about to shoot Lando, there's like 2 versions of what he said. Not when he's about to shoot him, but when Lando's like, a little higher, a little higher. One version he says, "Trust me," and the other one says, "It's okay, I can see a lot better now." And there's like all kinds of shit like that where if you watch all the different versions, and yeah, they put that note that was recorded for Revenge of the Sith. They stuck that on there at the end when he throws the Emperor down the pit. And some people don't like that very much, but
I'd forgotten about that one little interaction, like you said, from episode 6, just between Han and Lando. There were like 3 different exchanges or something like that. It's kind of crazy. Like, why make that change? But when you hear like the different lines of dialogue, it's like, this actually kind of works better. Just a bit.
I think the reason no one has much problem with the Empire Special Edition, even though like Empire is the most beloved, sacred movie of Star Wars, and for someone to go in there and tamper with it almost, seems like outside of a Star Wars fan, but just like as a film and history, like that seems sacrilegious, but it like even Mo says it's actually an improvement because you know what? Nothing that they did in that movie changed the story in any significant way. And the only line of dialogue that was switched was when the Emperor was talking to Darth Vader in that hologram.
Yes.
And they really improved that hologram.
Yeah. It looks a lot better because it's not a guy in a monkey mask.
Certain things, just like as an individual movie, you know, to go in there and change them, you know, there's no point. But when you look at it as a body of work, as 6 movies in sequence, there's certain things in there that just didn't work, that they just needed to tweak a little bit to just make it work better. And that scene is one of them, where the dialogue is just, it makes more sense after seeing the prequels.
See, I actually like that they added the Jabba scene in A New Hope. But
I'm glad that they added it, like, because like I was looking forward, because in like 1986 there was like this documentary. I forget what it was called. Something Behind the Magic or something. I forget what it's called. No, it was called From Star Wars to Jedi. That's what it was called, and it was on a VHS tape and everything. And on that, Lucas says, "Someday I would like to go back and finish that scene." And this was in like 86. So like for 10, 12 years, you've seen this scene in the comic book, in the novel, and in the radio play, and just imagining like, oh, he's going to put this scene back. That's going to be cool. So then he did. And I went and I saw it, and I was like, that looked kind of fucking weak. But he fixed it up, you know, later on. But still, you know, it's like the idea of it was cool. The execution was a little.
Yeah, I still
like when he steps on him. Why didn't they just like cut to a close up of Jabba's face, or so, like cut away to some B footage and then cut back, instead of having to insist that you have to keep this long shot where, you know, where Han steps on him, or have, you know, why couldn't Jabba like spin around even with his tail or something?
I would have just cut that out completely from me.
That's what I'm saying. They could have cut out that second just by cutting to a close up of Han or Jabba and then cut back to after that.
And Han shot first.
And the other thing about the scene in the movie is it makes the Greedo scene redundant, because the same thing happens twice.
Right. He gets confronted about the same job that went south, right? Except this time it's like, hey, why'd you shoot the guy I ordered to kill you? What's up?
And that was Rick McCallum in that scene in the boat. That was not what's his name, the original dude. I can't think of. I can't remember anyone's names anymore, real or fake.
But it did add. It did add.
It was Rick McCallum. He's too fat.
It added Jabba. It added Boba.
That's what I was talking about. The Boba Fett in that scene is Rick McCallum, who's like the executive producer of Lucasfilm at the time, and he's way too fat. And they just like, oh, go get the armor, and they just threw it on him and had him stand there. And the way he looks right at the camera is kind of like he breaks the third wall or the fourth wall, whatever the fuck it's called. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't like Boba Fett in that scene.
And Mo says also McClunky.
I actually don't really have a problem with McClunky. I kind of like it. it's just Greedo saying "fuck you" like really quick into the camera. I don't know. I dig McClunky.
Dink.
Yeah.
Ferric. Ape.
Dink Ferric. Echuta. Big says it's distracting. From what? From Han Solo shooting second?
I think he means when Boba Fett turns right to the camera and looks in the camera.
Oh, yeah. I get that.
He like pauses, like he stops and looks at it intentionally, like there's somebody standing there with a camera pointing. You know, I mean, it's
yeah,
it's weird.
There is tons of stuff that's like a quality of life improvement for episodes 4, 5, and 6 in the special editions. Like there are certain transitions where they actually like changed the music. So like there's this, I think it's in Empire, where they go from one scene to like a scene overlooking a Star Destroyer. And in the original, it's kind of like, you know, bum, bum, right? That's the transition music. And like the redo comes in like blaring with the brass bomb, 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 you know, TIE fighters screaming past the camera. It's really, really nice transition. Stuff like that. Adding the Arabesh in episode 4. Little transition. Beautiful stuff. It's the lore breaking stuff that really bothers people. And I get that.
I don't know. The thing that I don't like the most is like the slapstick shit, like Jar Jar falling off that bridge and like his second or third scene when he,
Mhm.
you know, he's on Naboo. That part's retarded. Or the Jawa falling off the Ronto as they're pulling through
Yeah.
the expand, like just like that, the cartoony shit like that, especially in the older ones because the animation looks shitty and the idea was shitty. So it's like, you know, two fails in one. Here's my buddy Mike. He likes grapes.
Welcome, Mike. I think we got past the bad part of the show.
What are we gonna show next? We're gonna go on.
Oh,
with,
dude. We can do anything. We can go right into
talk
episode 8
about
of
the special edition. Or
what's that?
I said Mo just wants to talk about the special editions. It looks like.
Dude, we should just go piece by piece. Talk about the special editions. Every little thing that was done. What we happen to think about it.
We could do that. We'll do that next week, Mo. Does that sound good?
Hell yeah. I will defend what I can of the special editions.
Mo's not going to answer because if he tells us, yeah, do that, he won't be able to complain the entire show about our topic. He's like, I'm not going to lock in on that.
It's not a real Blue Milk special or Blue Milk social if Mo isn't bullying Steve.
I don't know where Portsmouth is. I've heard of it, but I forget. But I'm on the east side of Cincinnati. Yeah, I don't care. That's my real name, Steve, and I live in Milford, Ohio. And I'm gonna be a giant YouTube celebrity. You can't fuck with me.
It's happening.
I'm gonna be undoxable. I live in my mom's basement. If you want to stop by, bring some weed. We'll hang out. It's all good.
You have to actually write that on the envelope, too.
2 days.
You write that on the envelope. You write mom's basement under the street address.
Okay, there you go, man. Okay, that's what we're gonna do next week. You can complain about how we didn't do it right. The thing that's stupidest of all in that shot is that the BB laser. Like every laser in Star Wars is say like this long, and then Greedo shoots this little tiny BB that goes boink boink, and Han goes like they cut him like digitally, you know. I mean, they like this shit that we make on YouTube where we're fucking around trying to make, you know, like they cut his head off and it's a separate piece like a paper doll. And as Greedo shoots, they've got him go like he goes like shrink, and it's so fucking janky and stupid. And then this little tiny laser goes boink boink and bounces off the wall. Fuck. All right, yeah. I'll come pick you up after the show. Get rolling through the hood. He's not even lying, probably.
Do you want to show that scene with Han Solo?
Do you have it?
Yeah, I can bring that up pretty quickly.
You burned up all our we can make 3 shows out of those, out of the special editions.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Let's see here. Spigot swoop.
You've seen the video where they edited so all Alderaan fires at the Death Star first. No, I have not seen that. Give us a link.
I don't think that's a real thing. I think he's saying how bad it is.
That would be a great idea. What if Alderaan attacked the Death Star first?
Real. Well, that's probably like Imperial like what cops do or whatever. You know, I mean, if there's no cameras, they'll say, "Oh, he attacked me," when really they just like beat the dude down and made up an excuse. And that's probably what the Empire did. They probably went on the Intergalactic Imperial News Network and said, "We had no choice. Alderaan fired first. It was an issue of Imperial officer safety."
Oh yeah.
I have a
Do you know how
feeling
many
Mo's going to.
officers?
I have a feeling
gonna do
Mo's
what?
going to be dropping this link real soon.
Ooh, here we go. Let's see it, Mo. Come on. Alderaan attacked first. I believe it. Do you know how many Imperials are on the Death Star? That's a major hazard, having a planet shoot at them.
I know it. I mean, these are known rebels.
I'm an Empire apologist. Lots of innocent people died on the Death Star.
This is true. Some people say it was an inside job, but I don't think our Emperor would do that to us.
No.
Yeah. I wouldn't even talk about it like that.
Get kicked off YouTube for misinformation.
Surprised we're not kicked off already.
What are we showing? Did we show this one? Okay.
I got the Greedo scene.
Okay. Let's get Mo's comment down so we can see. Okay. Is this the latest special edition? There's a 2019 version?
Even I get bored sometimes. You think I had a choice? My dead body. Yes, I bet you have.
Oh, watch right here. Did you see that? Go back. Can you do it in slow?
Yeah. Oh, it's all on the scene.
Okay. Yeah, like what? Like they actually cut him into parts. You see what I'm saying? He's like a paper doll. His head is a piece. You know what I mean? They like Photoshop cut it. In his head, they just like spin it, and then his body moves.
That looks like something that we'd put together for the holiday special.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And this is, I think this is wrong. 2019, I believe, in the purchase contract that Disney is not allowed to further specialize or edit the original 6 movies. I might be wrong, but from what that's the 2008 version, and I think that's the final version.
Does Greedo have a nose mouth?
Yes.
It's a proboscis. Like the noble proboscis monkey.
Proboscis.
Nasty. Yaden sneezed out of the same hole. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
They're like
unless he sneezed out the other end.
Or something, I think. Maybe not, because the girl Greedo has hair. Maybe they're just like green mammals. They look like lizards.
That's weird. Why does Star Wars do that? They just randomly give like the other sex some, I don't know.
And like some aliens in science fiction are lizard people that have, and the chicks have boobs. It's like, why would a lizard have breasts?
Yeah, they had that in Invincible. It was like a bug planet, and they all have bug lives. They live like a hot month, right? So they live like bugs, but then the women have breasts. Like, what praying mantis is milking?
I believe that if Corey Barton were still here, he would want to see lizard boobies.
That's true. I don't know.
It's different strokes for different folks.
Don't talk about Corey and strokes in the same sentence ever again, crazy.
Are we going back to this for a minute?
Dude, we can. Absolutely. Or we can talk about anything.
Let's do episode 8. Let's just keep it more concise.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Narcana 5, that's the planet that Andor, I almost said Aldous. Andor gets taken to. Aldous would not survive in this universe just because he'd be so bored. Anyway, Andor gets taken to Narcana 5. Cyril gets confronted by the Empire, and that's where he gets taken in to be questioned. There's a lot of like imagery from a certain time period where film was black and white, and there was a mean mustache man who imprisoned a bunch of people and then put the gas on them.
Oh,
like
the
shoe thing.
shoes. Yeah. That's like the
The shoe memorial.
I actually have this written down as Andor heads to prison while Cyril is in a prison of his own.
See, man, you caught right onto it. That's exactly what they're trying to tell you.
But then Cyril meets with Miro, where he has like some creepy love connection.
Oh yeah, dude, he's really into the Dommy mommy. I'm telling you. Wants her to step on him in high heels.
They interrogate him, and then later on, he's like, "Oh, you remember that conversation we had?" She's like, "That wasn't a conversation. We were interrogating you." He's like, "Oh, I liked it." You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he wants her to dominate him.
I'm telling you.
Sexually.
Yes, like imperially. Yeah. It is kind of odd, and she, like, in that scene that you're talking about, she's like looking him up and down trying to figure him out, like, what is this? And as soon as she like figures out like, oh, it's romantic, she like puts the kibosh on it. She just puts a stop to it all.
Angela, we are trying to convince Mo Biggs and the rest of you that Andor is the best live action Disney show of Star Wars that they've made, because it's just like Rogue One, the movie is the best movie that the Disney Star Wars people have made. This is made by the same people telling the same story with the same, the same characters and the same cast, and it's pretty good.
And despite what Mo Biggs says, it is really good.
Mo just likes to cyberbully me. Actually, secretly, when our show ends, he goes home and he's seen every episode of Andor like 11 times. He loves it. That's just a feeling I have.
This is also where we get the first appearance of Andy Serkis as Kino Loy, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good in this. They've got some good actors in here.
Yeah, they really do. Like Genevieve O'Reilly, Stellan Skarsgård, Forrest Whitaker, Andy Serkis. Even the guy playing Cyril is really good.
Yes. Oh, he's great. One of my favorite characters in this whole thing.
Miley Cyrus isn't in this. She's not in this one, Mike.
And not only do we see Andy Serkis as Kino Loy, we get our first appearance of Melshi in this episode.
Yeah, he's in Rogue One. He's in the Rebel Alliance. He helps in the battle at the end.
Good catch, man.
On Ceres. And he escapes with him. That's who he meets up with. So at the end of this show, those two are together. And in Rogue One, they're both there. So you can imagine Melshi. It's Melchi or Melshi?
It's Melshi.
Melshi.
Yeah. Okay, well,
she like Billy Tucci's she.
Okay.
Don't say that, because you followed Tucci with she. That is confusing as all hell.
Yeah. Like she. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah. He's gonna probably be in the whole next season.
Yeah. I like these prison facilities. 7 floating facilities with 7 sides, where there are 7 floors with 7 teams and 7 men per team. Also, you have 7 seconds to get in your cell before the floor becomes hot once the lights start flashing.
What's up with the 7s?
7 circles of hell, 7 deadly sins. It could also just be speaking to the general uniformity of the Empire. I really don't know, but it's unique.
Oh, yeah, you meant she, like Billy Tucci's she. Okay, yeah. I thought you were saying like Billy Tucci. I'm like, that's not how you say it, is it?
No, it's Billy Tucci.
I know it. That's what I was saying. That's what I was like. What the fuck is he talking about?
But it's like
yeah,
she.
and then yeah. His book is called She. I didn't
See what I'm saying? Don't say Tucci followed by she. That ain't.
Yeah.
It's
I was
confusing.
confused. Yeah.
Oh man. So this is like
Yeah,
Miro
we
putting
don't
the case
tag
together.
blue. F to 5-0, man. They don't let us smoke crack. I've only got 2 days left to smoke weed illegally and be a criminal. So.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
You know, I just had a buddy get busted for that.
Like since the election?
Yes, since it was passed.
What did he get?
He
had DUI or just possession?
He got a possession.
They're gonna throw that shit out before he even gets there. You're wasting his time.
Yes, Angela Curry. Ohio has made it so that it is.
That judge is gonna be mad at that cop probably.
Recreational.
He's gonna say, "Get the fuck out of here," because part of that fucking bill was that all marijuana convictions, misdemeanors, non-felony marijuana charges are expunged automatically. So he's gonna go to court, and they're gonna try to give him a ticket for a crime that's already not a crime that will automatically be expunged. And the judge probably when he shows up in court, that fucking public defender is probably gonna tell him to go home.
We just got Lothbrock Legacy showed up in the chat. I don't know if this is the new face or if this is BK or not.
That is BK. It's Betrayed King.
Oh, he's Loth.
Yeah, BK switches his name like every 3 days.
He's from Lothal, so he's a Lothbroth soft cloth moth. I can appreciate that.
Yeah, he's gonna be up in Northern California fighting fires for $1 a day. Your buddy's fucked. Kamala Harris is on the case.
Oh man.
Also, I believe this episode is the first we get Forrest Whitaker too.
We already showed that part though.
Or was that in the last episode?
I don't know if it was in. We might have gone out of order, but
We did go out of order.
Yeah, this is the first appearance of Forrest Whitaker, Andy Serkis, and Mel Shee.
And yeah, Andy Serkis and Forrest Whitaker are definitely highlights to this cast. They really, give good performances.
100%.
Everybody in this, and it's like the stuff that people criticize, actors included. They say they hate acting in front of a green screen, talking to people who aren't even there. And it's like these are all physical sets with physical, non-CGI characters. And these actors are acting like actors in an actual show, not like actors in a sci-fi show who are all layered in separately, trying to figure out what's what. So, these guys probably went and in their head, they have like a whole backstory of their character, and like each one of these guys knows who his character is and how that character would act, and method acting or that. Like these guys are like this whole show is going back to like old school basics of production and storytelling.
Yeah. And we've got a great character here with Andy Serkis, somebody who's just serving the rest of their time. They're nearly at the end of it. He's got what, like 200 days? No, not even.
days or so.
Yeah, he's got 240 days, something like that.
Yeah. And the days are measured in shifts too, which is interesting. They don't get to see daylight. But he's like, look, I'm nearly at the end of this thing. I'm just trying to do the little competitions that they want us to do, competing with the other floors, competing with each other. Don't make noise. Get in line. Get to work. And he's somewhat inspiring to the other people. And I think Andor realizes that pretty early on and realizes I need to get this guy on my side. One, because he probably has more information than anybody else, and two, people like him. They're going to listen to him.
There's those things you're talking about right before the show.
Oh,
They put these like it's supposed to be, I guess, like a tequila worm or something. They put these worms in this drink. And it's some kind of custom.
and they dissolve and they get them all drunk.
Yeah, it reminds me of caviar in a way, because from what I understand about caviar, it's not that great. But
No.
it's all about like, oh, I can afford caviar. What's interesting too, a parallel that we go from this place to the prison Andor's in, all of the prisoners compete with each other, with the other teams, for flavor in their food.
Yeah.
Here we have Mon Mothma, who's like, this is gross. She has to, as a custom, accept gross flavored food. It's interesting. Little parallels.
Everything when they cut back from this part of the story to the other part, like everything is 100% opposite, black and white contrast, and they like hammer it in.
They actually talk about how gross those worms are.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And they say that that's the point of it all.
Right. It's supposed to be gross. They have a great exchange here. I gotta share the video. It made me laugh, man. Because Mon's husband clearly doesn't like T. Like he's got his back to him half the time, right? Just kind of like, whatever, and he moves off as soon as he can. And T has this like little remark to him. I don't know, man. I thought it was pretty hilarious. I got the video right here.
The new legislation is definitely having an effect.
The rebels might have thought that over before blowing up Aldani.
Oh, this is that one part.
Yeah. So the new legislation they're talking about is things like, okay, we're going to put a tamp down on religious ceremonies, right? If you use that for cover, we're going to, really come down hard on you. All sorts of stuff. It's having an effect throughout the Galactic Empire.
Thank you. Sagrona Tima. Well, good luck feeding the galaxy. I'm off to feed myself. Charity begins at home.
Charity begins at home. And look, you look at him back there. He's like, "Fuck you, motherfucker."
Oh, I love it. It's just a small little line. It's I don't know. I liked it. I like Tay. He's got that futuristic man
like
bun.
Space Sinatra.
Space Sinatra. He's a lounge lizard, is what he is.
The dude
he's
is
kind of.
He's not Space Sinatra. He just has that, but he is supposed to be kind of like cucked. Like he stays home and takes care of the daughter and lets her do whatever she wants, while Mon Mothma's out there trying to save the galaxy, and he's over here, just basically freeloading.
And Mon doesn't really like him at all.
They don't like each other, either one of them.
They
were married by custom, like an arranged marriage when they were 14 or something, and yeah, they're both. That, like, I think is the guy here that if she got to choose, I think this is the guy she wanted to be with.
She even tells Tay at one point, "My husband knows nothing of this, and he is not to be trusted."
Yeah. The interesting thing about that is I think that this is the one not to be trusted right here. This is Mon Mothma's daughter. She says something, and it made me think, oh, crap, what are they setting up here? Because she looks at Tay, and she says, I remember you. You're coming around here a lot now, or something like that. I remember you. You're here all the time now. She's making note, and while Mon's husband might get jealous, perhaps, that could be a motivation to uncover some of Mon Mothma's dealings. I think the daughter's going to do it because she loathes her mother already, and then she's going to start noticing things, right? She's already taking notes. She's too sharp. She's not her father's daughter.
Yeah, I believe in the next episode she says, "Dad calls Tay your boyfriend."
Yep.
And I feel like the father being around the daughter all the time, and he lets the daughter do whatever she wants, whenever she wants, that he's drove a wedge between the daughter and Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that goes against the convention of Disney, but yeah, they did put a weak man with a man bun in their show this time.
Really breaking from convention, you're right. This is kind of a cool moment too. You can see how the floors communicate with each other. It's just like simple,
It
not
takes a
sign
week
language.
for a sentence to get from one side of the building to another with their sign language in the tunnels, but they're finding out everybody on level 2 was executed.
Yeah, that's in episode 9. That's a pretty wild one.
Oh, that's later on. Yeah. Here they're
yes,
just established that they can talk through the thing to set that up for later when they get the message.
Exactly. The setup, the payoff, it's all perfect.
Did you
this
notice
is kind of
back
cool.
behind in the very back there's like these waterfalls?
Yes.
So it's
I
like
think I
they
got a picture of
live on that on the ocean planet or in the middle of the ocean, and there's things. So like, is this like some kind of hydropower where they let the water in to flow down this waterfall to turn some turbines or something, or what?
Right. Yeah, it's there are like whirlpools at the bottom of these complexes that we're not quite sure if like that's maybe that's something to prevent people from escaping and swimming away, right? Or maybe
Yeah.
that's part of what actually holds it up. We actually don't even know what they're building, right? Over these facilities.
Oh yeah, they never tell you until the very, 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 very end, after the credits of the entire series.
Yep. And
Which is wild because there were no after credit scenes in any of it until the last episode, and it was like, I mean, most of you like had probably speculated that already, but yeah, it just was like kind of a major, what word am I looking for? It was like a major drop of knowledge there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that shows how many days they have left before they get out of jail. But it turns out it's all a lie. That once they get down to 0, they just ship them to another floor.
Right. Yeah, that's what happens in 9 and 8. They talk to Andor. They're like, "Hey, all of our shifts got doubled overnight, right? Our remaining shifts. What what are the people on the outside talking about?"
Mon Mothma was talking about it in the Senate. They're trying to pass new legislation that cracks down on terrorism against the Empire, and part of it was all these guys' sentences got doubled or tripled or something like that.
Yeah, they did like a retroactive thing. The thing that's really messed up about this, right? The doubling of the shifts. Andor's at fault for that, effectively, because he made the Aldani thing work by being the pilot.
Yeah, that's the thing. All these little things that are happening to all the people around him, his mother, and now all of his cellmates and Bix and everybody. It's all because, and none of them know he did it, but
nope.
It's like all of the events that are transpiring around the galaxy with the Empire's crackdown are all because of this one thing that he did.
And no one in prison even knows he's Andor. He's going by his other name, which is Keith Gergo.
Yeah. The really messed up thing about this in this context in particular, as far as like Andor's responsibility or fault for this, Olaf, who's the old guy, when we see him in the prison, we're told he has like 70 something days when Andor first starts.
Yeah, he's got 40 on his last scene. He only had 41 days. They kept saying it. 41 days.
Exactly. He only had a couple days. So if his prison sentence was doubled, then he probably had something like 35, 36 days left, right? By the time we get to him and he has 43 now, and spoiler alert, he suffers from a stroke and dies. At that point, he probably would have been out. But as we learn later, he would never have actually been out.
No one gets out alive.
No one gets out. But isn't that messed up? Like, he wouldn't get to celebrate his last day because of something that the guy he's working with did that he's not even aware of.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Clem.
It is.
Bix owes Clem a life debt for making the name Bix sound less bad.
Well, Bix makes up for it by running in this episode.
Yeah. Fan service.
This is true.
Crazy, loved every second of it. He was like drooling.
Here's some fan service for the girls in our audience. Naked men.
Yeah, I didn't like that part that good. There's that
I like this
Ewok
part.
chick. She looks grumpy.
I think Corey has missed every girl that we've shown so far.
People don't appreciate what we do for them. Like, spend all week custom creating content.
There's Bix, right back one scene.
Yeah.
There she is.
Yeah, beautiful lady. She gets it bad in episode 9. Holy moly.
Crazy's in love with her.
Actually, she gets caught and tortured in this episode. Well, she gets caught in this episode, but she doesn't get tortured till the next one.
Yeah, that scene's the scene where she gets kind of wheeled in first. That's a pretty good one for like the character of Miro to see like how she uses, this is the ISB like functioning as they're intended to, right? Where they use like psychological tricks to either lull you into a false sense of security or scare the crap out of you, right? And this is a great one.
She's on her way out. Would you like us to clear the room?
No. I wanted to see him.
So just for context. Holy cow.
Context.
That's a happy coincidence.
So
yeah, they're interrogating these guys in here.
This is Pac, by the way,
Yes.
who owned the radio that Bix uses to contact Luthen. And he was brought in the night before because they had intercepted the transmission. And they had tortured him, and he spilled. He spilled everything, which is why they were after Bix to begin with.
Exactly. And this is important because she actually knows Pac like very well. And
Yeah, man, we've been plotting it. Everything we've done for like 12 hours live on YouTube is all just a fucking plot to make you see naked dudes from the shoulder up.
It's true, I confess.
He's on to us.
In fact, we started this whole show just to make Mo look at naked dudes from the shoulder up.
Get him out of here. Quickly.
You two, with me.
She's like, acts all like, oh no, you shouldn't have let her see him, but it was all a plan.
Exactly. Yeah, she's there telling him like, no, don't remove Pac. She needs to see him. And then once she comes in, she goes, what the heck are you doing? Get him out of here. It's all a big trick to make it seem like, oh, it's just an accident, but she knows their relationship. She's using that to her advantage. Miro's a dark character, man. In these 2 episodes, 8 and 9, she's dark, dude.
Yeah, the ISB, they really go into the politics of the ISB and how even amongst each other they don't get along and they fight the whole time.
Oh, they're
Oh,
all
yeah.
out to learn power and they're backstabbers. And what scene's this?
Oh, that's like earlier when Pac tells Bix comes to him and says like, hey, let me phone Luthen, and this is a nice shot, like where she's just banging on the numbers there, like waiting for contact, but Luthen says, nah, shut it down. We gotta shut it down. I like this shot too. very reminiscent of I think it's Revenge of the Sith between Anakin and Padme.
Yeah.
Because these two characters are kind of in love, but what's her name to the left? She's like
Cinta.
Cinta. Yes, she's very much into the cause. She says like, no, we can't hide out together looking for Andor because it's going to draw suspicion. And she treats Vera, Neva.
Val.
I figured their name. Val.
There
is
you go,
one
Val.
of them.
Val and Cinta.
Vel, she treats Vel very coldly. That's a nice little scene. We have a guy who rails himself. That's how we see how the floors work.
They're like, oh, we're going to smell him all night.
Yeah,
When he
I know.
dies,
The way
shit.
they talk about it, it's real gallows humor, right?
I mean, what else you going to do? You're stuck in this cage. The 5. Oh, right here, because Kiwi says Justice 5.
Justice 5 mode.
That's extra justice, yeah.
Exactly. So much justice. I like
oh, yeah,
this
now
guy's
they're
yell.
like, there's Bix. He's like, get her! And she runs. That's the part crazy, like, where she ran.
Sorry, Crazy, I didn't get that part.
There's 2 tubes. We already did that part.
Yeah, exactly. I guess this was episode 8.
That's a good part.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah, now they like interrogate her. What were they asking her? They put these headphones on her, and it was like weird sounds was the actual interrogation.
The doctor back here describes everything that happened, like how they torture these people. And he says there's a moon, and on it they have this. I'm not even sure what it is.
The Dizonite race.
Yeah, go on. Go ahead and describe this, because you probably know.
I love this because this is the darkest thing I've ever heard of the Empire doing, and that's saying a lot because they just blow up planets, right? There's a Dizonite race of beings that were wiped out by the Imperials, and what they did to prove that they actually had done it was they recorded their wails of pleading, right? And apparently the sounds were so shocking they actually caused Imperials to like feel ill and cower in the corners of their ships, like they were trying to escape the noise. It was a choral, agonized pleading, as the interrogator Gorst, which, man, great name for an interrogator like this guy. Gorst describes it. He informed that they went a step beyond just recording the wails and having that being used to torture people. They singled out the wails of the children being the most potent, kind of like rattlesnake venom. You know, like baby rattlesnakes, they just shoot all their shit into your leg if they bite you. And then they overlaid them together to make something truly horrifying. So the Empire killed an entire race, recorded it, singled out the kids screaming, and they're using that to torture people. That's the most sick thing I've ever heard of.
Pretty twisted.
Dude, it's crazy, and I love it.
She's the anti-Ahsoka. She always got her arms crossed behind her back. Simo, it rhymes. It's symbolism. Crossing your arms in front is good. Crossing your arms in the back is bad.
No way.
Yeah, crossing your arms behind your back is definitely the color red.
Mm-hmm. Same thing. That's why you'll see like Grand Admiral Thrawn with his arms behind his back and his eyes are red. It's symbolism.
Wow, that deep, Steve. Holy cow.
Oh, hey, Michael T.
Michael T, you're late. You missed Ewok story time.
And voices. I love that. We can make that. That's easy. We're into episode 9, man. Did you want to show some droids? You got some droids to show?
You want to show droids?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right. Caught me off guard here. All right, that's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't do it.
We got to get deep into file 66.
Yep. Okay, here we go. I think.
Creeping softly through my crack ghetto. My crack pipe in my hand. just his brain. Addicted to cocaine. Got me running again. Smoking again. I put my life in jeopardy. In my search for big crack rocks. I wouldn't care, but it's a dangerous affair. Got me running again, smoking again.
After liberating an 8-ball from an illicit Imperial crack factory, our heroes crash-landed on a mysterious mud-covered planet where they found new allies on their quest for crack cocaine.
Hi, I'm Oren. I'm a crack whore.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Report to me when you find
The governor will be pleased. Ah, that looks like a venusaur hiding in the mud. I know just what to do.
The fuck was that?
It sounded like a noise.
I'm still tripping, and now I'm tripping.
Fuck.
Oh no, that rumbling. It can only mean
Bitch, don't you slip and fall, lose my motherfucking crack pipe.
Oh no.
Oh no, your motherfucking ass. You blowing my motherfucking high.
Excellent. That monster will make quick work of him. I must report this to the governor immediately.
Look at the size of that dick.
I didn't know I could salivate.
That's the legendary penisaur?
It's a monster. Look at his head. He's totally uncut. Gonna get us.
Usually penises go in my mouth, not the other way around.
Fucking kills. Oh, that reminds me. Run. I forgot to pick up my lube.
Run, father. It's going to eat them.
Look, bitch, he just blew my crack pipe.
Oh dear, hold me, R2. Hi-ho, Kerry Silver, away! Head for that tight hole, R2. I can't even dignify that with a response.
Get in this cave, 3PO.
Just hurry up.
Hide. He's trying to ravish me. Oh no.
Father, we have to help them. It looks like this is a job for me.
Yeah, because you owe me a motherfucking crack pipe.
Only a woman can tame a penis of that size.
Yeah, honey, go show him who's boss.
Let's get that giant pecker.
That penisaur must think that this cave is a megasaurus. Oh dear, we're fucked.
Hey dickhead, you want some of this? Oof, oh shit. Fucking hell.
Baby!
We've got to save her. Distract him, 3PO. I save her. Let's go. Yeah!
Oh, quickly, R2. We must act like drunken college whores.
Ah! Oh no! He's gonna eat us!
Hurry up. Go faster.
Oh, looky here. We have breasts and that thing that smells. Oh, damn, I don't know what women have. All I know is cock and balls. Oh, I see.
3PO! Run!
He's not just a penisaur. He's a biceratops. He's hungry for homos.
Get in. Hold on, R2.
That's it, R2. Keep prolapsing.
Let's go! Get the fuck out of here!
Okay. Good job, fellas. Let's get out of here so my daughter can go buy me another crack pipe.
Cool. Let's go find some crack rocks.
Did you guys come all the way out here to Roxania just to get some crack?
Roxania? This isn't Crack Planet?
Crack Planet? Oh, silly. That is just a legend.
For real? Fuck. We just spent our last million kestrels on a map to this stinkhole.
Crack Planet might not be real, but all of us really do like to smoke crack here.
I love crack.
Let's head back to our place and we can call our dude. If you don't have any money, he accepts other forms of payment.
Fuck yeah then. Let's go. I'm ready to get high as fuck.
Other forms of payment? Oh, I've turned so many tricks, I'm practically a fucking rabbit.
Gonna get high.
Goodbye, noble Biceracox. Perhaps in another life, we would tame wild Wookie Bussy together.
These negotiations are boring me. Any word from your agent yet?
Not yet. Would you like some deep-fried Kowakian monkey lizard?
What I want is my 40 Keshus, Governor.
Don't worry about that. Gaff is on the job.
He better be.
Don't worry about the 40 Keshels. With your fleet and my crack mines, we'll make billions all over the galaxy.
You don't seem to care that those crackheads stole my 40 Keshus.
They stole my 8-ball. I want Jesus' head.
I want my 40 Keshus, Ford.
I want to squish his balls like these space grapes.
You find those crackheads, and I'll sign your treaty.
Excellent. I will be the top provider of crack cocaine in the entire empire.
Yeah, Steve, it was that good. I loved it.
I said we put some grapes in there for Mike. She likes grapes. That was like the most degenerate fucking one yet, wasn't it?
Yeah, a giant penisaur trying to hump a Mycosaurus.
I love the making of this because Steve was like, it's just going to be Space Jesus going around being like, oh no, run away.
I know, he was so worried, but man, it's gold. Oh man. I love that yell. That yell. Where did you find that yell, Steve?
Which one? Oh, for the chick? I don't know. It was some random thing on YouTube or something. I don't remember. Some of those, like, we've been making these for a long time, and we get like little periods where we all get busy and don't, 2 or 3 weeks go by where we don't get to work on them, and then we come back to it, and sometimes I'm just completely lost. Like, where were we? What was going on? And I forget a lot of the details. We've been working on these now for like 2 years, haven't we?
Yeah, something like that, man. It's been a crazy amount of time.
It's a lot of it's just getting everybody together at the same time and getting everything done.
Yeah, but if you join the Discord, you can pester us about it every day. I'll make up a whole new room for you. Just pester us about droids.
Yeah, because we really do love working on it, but we just don't.
It's the funnest part of our whole
do it.
Everything we do.
100%. It's a blast. I love, as Michael T says, 10 out of 10 would smoke again. Absolutely. Just need to get down to it.
And a lot of when the new characters come up, we love to get new people to do voices for us. So people who just hang around and whatever, sometimes we might just hit you up.
Yeah, absolutely.
My absolute favorite thing in the world is whenever Ape does new C-3PO lines, he always sends them to the Dropbox, and I immediately go in there and listen to everything he does.
Your outtakes are the fucking funniest sometimes. Make like a whole reel of bloopers.
Oh, hell yeah, I should. I really should start bringing in bloopers. Man, I remember, I'm not going to mention the project, but I did a VO for a little independent book. And there was a line that got in there at the end of the trailer that was a blooper.
Whoa.
No, I said, back it today, or you're a commie fuck.
I know which one you're talking.
It was not intended for the final trailer, but hey.
You can.
I'm a
Everyone
steel
steals
Megasaurus.
from us, D-Wag. It's cool.
Here, D-Wag, here's another one. You got the Megasaurus, but you also have a Licholotopus.
That's good. Licholotopus.
I like the Biceracox too.
Biceracox, yeah. Then there's also the missing link dinosaur. Nobody can find it. It's the Clitorosaurus.
Behind droids, Matt, we have some. Oh, we got something really good coming up. It's taking a little bit of effort because we're making all of our own animation for our new series. It's gonna be even better than droids. Just wait. I'm not gonna say what it is or when it is because I'm not gonna put myself under pressure to have it done by a certain date because I'm not gonna show it to you until it is fucking perfect. But it's dope, Mo. Just wait. That's all I got. You just wait.
It'll be worth it. See, Mo, you watch our stream, you listen to us gush about Andor, a show you hate, and then you get to see the best droids episode you've ever seen.
Angela Curry, Ape is C3PO.
We already showed that, D-Wag. We already showed that.
Yeah, I'm C3PO. I like the part. I don't try to play it too close to the way 3PO was actually voiced. It's because there's a lot of like range that you can't quite get with a normal C3PO voice, but man, I always love writing for the part, and this episode I did make him especially degenerate. Maybe I'll tone it down a bit next episode.
No,
like if you're like 12 or 13, that's probably even funny.
I love it when 3PO is over the top degenerate. That's my favorite 3PO.
Yeah. 3PO's a real saucy bitch in our droid show. I think it's the best way to describe him.
And then Steve kills it too. Steve kills it. He does a lot of stuff. He does Screed. He does Space Jesus. Ape does a lot of background stuff.
Try to help where I can, But, we might be... I mean, shoot, dude. You're El Chapo. Come on. That stuff was brilliant.
Yeah, I love El Chapo, and I so wanted him to keep going in this series, but we just couldn't figure out how to make it work.
Later, Jeremy.
No, Kiwis.
Did we even
Kiwis
say hi
going
to you,
back.
Jeremy? I did. Hail. Sorry if you're even.
Jeremy was working on, I think it was an update I saw. He was working on a really cool portrait of Grand Moff Tarkin, who's my favorite character in Star Wars. So, man, Jeremy, excited to see that. I don't know if you finished it yet, but dude, it looks dope. Awesome stuff. If you're still here. If you're not, oh well.
And I'd like to give a big shout out to Jeremy Thebino, Zaid Studios. He plays the little kid in the earlier episodes. He plays the bug guy.
Yep, Gaff.
And he kills it in that.
He's like, so.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's damn fun.
And another shout out to Big Meech, my buddy
Big
Todd.
Meech. Yeah, he's good.
We had no one that could sound like a black guy, so we got an actual black guy to do the voice.
Authenticity, attention to
It's
detail.
for DEI. Equity and inclusion.
Yeah, we get, and I mentioned that one episode. I said recycling is important, so we're getting that ESG money now. That's what we're using to produce the next couple episodes.
And even we got D-Wag actually did a voice too.
Oh yeah, him and Mo. We said it like we're right on the verge of it. We're right there. I just had to do all this. Like this show right here, making our little videos, sometimes keeps me away from making droids. But tomorrow, like Tuesday and Wednesday, I usually like don't have much to do. I'm gonna get to work on those because Ink just sent me a whole slew of new lines, and
I've still got to send more. And the great thing is, like, what's planned for those lines is Mo Biggs, I think, right, is going to be playing a comedian robot. So I'm ecstatic to hear what Mo Biggs's robot says back to like my 3PO lines. I can't wait because Mo Biggs is the funniest dude out there.
After we made like the very first episode, or maybe the second episode, I think like 2 years ago, I knew that character was in the story, and I told Mo, like, I got a character for you. It's been like 2 fucking years, but we're still doing it, Mo. Like, if you're hanging around this whole scene, you might have just gotten used to shit showing up a little bit late, but we're still working on it. We are still working on it. It's gonna be very, very soon.
Yeah, it almost makes me want to forgive all those late dudes.
We put a trailer out for droids like a year ago. It said coming this spring. Like shit happens, man. I'm fucking sorry, man. We were waiting on that ESG check to get here.
We were on it though. We had like 6 of them done, and we were like super into it. We weren't doing anything else. We weren't doing this show. And then we started working on the Crack Pack holiday special, and then just everything.
We did that Ray's Happy Burgers one that we showed. If you guys haven't followed along in the intro every week, there's that little clip. They won't let us show the full 7-minute thing on copyright, so we had to cut it into a bunch of little 30-second clips. And there's a playlist on my channel called Ray's Happy Burgers that me and Crazy Mad made about Ray opening up her flea market Happy Burger eatery, and it's actually pretty funny. I watched. If you go and like you watch the playlist, you can just see it all in sequential order. It's got a cool little story and some funny jokes in there.
Dude, that was you two cooking for like months. You guys made something really freaking funny out of that stuff, man. Like when it came all together, like you said, watching it all once, it's like, damn, this is pretty funny.
Yeah, we had to cut it into 30 seconds at a time, though.
Oh, man, how obnoxious.
I know it was.
But dude, you guys knocked it out of the park, man. That's a good question, Mo.
Crack Pack Gang doesn't have a whole lot to do with Star Wars and the general theme of my channel. And we went and looked at a lot of them. A lot of them are kind of incoherent. And we're rushed because we were trying to do that show every week, and some of them we just had to slap some garbage together in time, and they're not really that good. There are a couple good ones, but D-Wag was talking to me. Maybe we'll have something else, like maybe a new Crack Pack show coming up, possibly, where those would just fit right in. And I've been learning. Like 2 years ago, Mo, my skills weren't as good. Like I could make it look way better and do way more, way faster, way higher quality. So if you want to get back to work on that, get on D-Wag. Tell them let's make it. I'm ready. Let's go. Yeah, we can show them. If nothing else, Mo, I will put them up. Like I'll round them all up. I'll put them in a Dropbox or unlist them on. I'll send you a link so at least you and some of the other guys who are in it can check it out. I found those Roach videos too. We could finish that if you guys want.
Oh man, with A Roach and B Roach.
Mm-hmm.
Holy moly. Oh dude. That'd be great. I'll make a YouTube channel called Not Steve That's Star Wars.
I'll make sure we can get them somewhere where you can see them. I'll get on that. If I don't hit you up here in the next couple of days, remind me, because I smoke a lot of weed. I forget shit sometimes.
That's true.
See the grapes, Mike. We had grapes. We had grapes on our cartoon.
And Mo, I
Maybe
applaud
just
you
edit them
for
all
trying.
into one. Okay.
I applaud you for trying to get your young nephew into crack at an early age.
Commendable.
What else you? I think you have some other stuff around. Like I said, I found all my videos on that OneDrive, and I downloaded them. There's like some promo stuff you did, Mo. I don't know. I'll round it all up and see what we've got here. The demands on my time these holiday couple weeks have been overwhelming, and having like little fucking shit sometimes seems like it's this major chore, just like, you know, you get too much going on in your fucking head, and it like paralyzes me, where like I don't do any of them. Sitting here thinking about what should my next Ask Steve at Star Wars be, and I sit here and not get any of my other work done.
Oh, he's in his 20s. Well,
Okay.
then why'd you wait so
That's a
long?
good time to smoke crack, you know.
You waited way too long. You should have got 9, 10 years old.
I don't know. A lot of 20-year-olds pick up crack smoking, and
Yeah, you can pick up crack pretty easily. You know, it's a great drug like that. You know, it's never too late to start crack.
This is probably why we're not a mainstream Star Wars channel.
Never will be.
Like, crack's not mainstream. Fuck. Because that was the whole reason I picked that. I thought, oh man, it's gonna be huge. People love crack.
Steve looked at the YouTube search analytics.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle with Tyrone Biggums and like Easy E and Master P. I always like everybody loves crack. What are you motherfuckers talking about? See, look, Mike got crack when he was teething.
Mike's been to prison.
So what? You don't need to dox his prison record.
Dang.
He smoked a little bit of crack. So what, man? He is without crack smoke cast the
first crack rock.
Yeah. See, crack is good. Mike is a hero.
Yeah, he loves grapes.
We learned what heroes were last week from Chewbacca. No, it's not Andrew Curry. He fucking endorsed. They came up with this firewood, this fake log you can buy that doesn't have any smoke. And they paid Snoop to endorse it. And he came out and he goes, I'm giving up smoke. Just to create this major media buzz where everyone's like, Snoop's, quit smoking. And then they showed it. And he's like, look at my new log. It don't have no smoke. It was gay.
Yeah.
It's pretty smart, really. But it was not smart in the fact that the fact that everyone thought Snoop quit smoking weed totally overshadowed the advertisement, and no one even knows what it is. So it totally failed as far as marketing.
Yeah, that's the point. Actually, you don't even know what it is because it's not a log. It's like a gas-powered thing
drug war
that's smokeless. So it just...
Well, we hate the 5-0 around here. We fucking do. I don't know. I won't speak for these guys, but me and Mike, we hate the police. What do you want to do? Let's get into our next. What is it?
I think all we got left is 9, don't we?
Yeah.
Nobody's listening.
Nobody cares. They're all gonna shit.
No, I mean that's the title of the episode. Nobody's
I
listening.
know, and it's the title of this segment of our show as well. Did you send? Okay.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
There it is.
I don't know if refreshing it helps, but yeah, they go into some of the torture here. You got Miro like being real mean with Vix.
Out with 40 days to go. That was kind of rough.
Yeah, I like his slow progression too, because at the beginning he's kind of slow, but he's old, right? It's understandable. Then one day he can't push a pin in all the way, so he needs help. Then the next day he's like, oh, my hand's all roughed up, I can't do much. And then by the end of his sentence, he can't stand up.
Some standing up. Oh shit, I knocked my head up.
Yeah, this guy Gorst is a real. He's like
He
very.
he's got like that evil clown grin. Just look at him. He looks sinister as hell.
Yeah, he's a total masochist.
Oh yeah, he's going into great detail. He's telling her like, "Oh, back when we first started trying this, like people actually died. So we've worked on this quite a bit." Yeah, I really like this scene, this particular transition. Again, a lot of really good cinematography because the transition between scenes is fantastic. Let's see if it loads.
Yeah, she really goes horrified here.
Did you send me something else or what?
I think I did. Is it not going
This
through?
one? Okay. No,
Oh, yeah.
it just the thumbnails looked identical on those two. Okay.
That was a bad idea. My bad.
I just couldn't tell which one was which. She's got like some Bose headphones.
She's got the new Dre Beats.
She's got every song ever stored in there. She just heard that new Lizzo song.
I love that transition, man. Like going from her screams like straight into that mechanical whirring, you know?
There's a lot of like there's like good like filmmaking, TV production, like that, you know what I mean? Like the production value of the show is very well thought out. They use all kinds of like what we were saying before without mentioning it. It has a vibe of that it was made in the 70s or something like that, just because of the non-reliance on computer effects and to get the message across using old techniques of, you know, cinematography and editing, like, you know, just like your basic 101 film school things, like, you know, you shoot up from below to make someone look powerful, you shoot down at them to make it look you know what I'm saying, just stuff
and
like
they did that with
you know.
Bix. They did that with Bix, where they shoot her from the top looking into that silo when she's trying to reach out to Luthen to make her look smaller. That transition is a great example because it's like her screams, very much like the screams that are actually torturing her, are just one more gear in the giant machine that is the Empire, which is why when they transition to that machinery, it's so perfect. There's one thing that I really didn't like as far as cinematography goes from this show, and it's like, I think it's episode 7. What's her name, Crazy Mad? Sista? Or...
Cinta?
There you go. Cinta finds a speeder, and then there's a Star Destroyer that cruises overhead, and the camera shakes as it flies over.
They did that in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't know. Don't make me think that there's camera equipment actually being affected by the things that you used a computer to put in. Like, you know, like
Ryan trying to go for that. George Lucas always, like on episode 4, he would always say, "I shot it documentary style." You know what I'm saying? Like he actually was doing like anthropology documentaries and stuff like that, and he actually wanted Star Wars to look like a documentary. He's like, I think that lends to the part of the realism to the look.
I get that. When it comes
it's
to things like...
It's also easier to layer and match stuff when your camera doesn't move and you just have one shot, and then you can shake it afterwards in post after you've met everything together. But
that's true, and I do get that, but especially for things like where people they aren't staged like they're in the film, like in episode 4 and 6 in particular, people aren't staged like they're in a film.
Yeah.
You know, they're kind of just shot as if they're there. That's why people, I think, really like episode 5, because it's actually shot.
Irvin Kershner,
like a real film.
did it differently, and like there's no shots in Star Wars that like follow characters on cranes and whatever, like where like in Hoth when they first come into the base and Princess Leia's given the she's got all the X-Wing pilots are around her, and she's talking about you know, two fighters per transport and all that. It's like the shot that they goes through the whole Rebel base or whatever, and it's like stark contrast to anything George Lucas did in the first one. Is like complete different style of filmmaking.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
I just thought of that one because I was watching a documentary, 15 years ago or whatever. They were contrasting Lucas versus Kirshner, and that was one of the things they said. But this shot right here on Hoth breaks George Lucas's written down rule of Star Wars, and Kirshner did it, and it was brilliant. Or whatever, Kirshner was actually George Lucas's teacher in college.
Oh, for real? Wow.
Yeah, and when he needed a director, he's like, "There's only one guy I trust." And later on in an interview, they said, "Well, why did you choose Kirshner?" He said, "I trusted him because he knows everything that a Hollywood producer should know, but he's not Hollywood."
Yeah, that's the important distinction, I think,
And
right?
that's right after George Lucas basically quit all the guilds and everything and moved up to San Francisco to get the fuck away from them.
Dude, I do not blame him there. Holy moly.
Well, now their streets are riddled in feces.
No joke. It's speaking as somebody who visited San Fran a few months back, let me just tell you, not an exaggeration. Not an exaggeration. That is a changed city, man. Holy cow.
I heard they cleaned it up for China. China's coming to visit or something. That's all over the Twitters and YouTubes and everything, that the leader of China's coming to San Francisco and they cleaned up all the shit and closed down all the tent cities or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which why didn't they do that 6 years ago if they had the ability to do that? They just,
Yeah, I say let Xi Jinping come over as often as he likes. Give him a week
pass. The shit off the street. But this scene in the Senate right here, we've talked about it earlier because, like, before we even got to this scene, we've mentioned a couple times. It's so like actual C-SPAN, where you go and you turn on the House and the Senate, and someone's giving a speech, and they pan around the shot, and there's nobody there. None of the other senators, none of the other reps. Nobody gives a fuck. There's one person there, sitting there, giving a speech, and nobody gives a shit.
Yeah. Even if they're required to like go to these meetings, nobody's showing up. People are literally turning the lights off on their pods, right? It's pretty nuts. I like the Imperial logo down here in the center.
Oh yeah,
that's added in later on.
Yeah,
pretty nice detail. Mon Mothma's just pouring her art out for these people, saying, "Oh, there's a serious overreach," and people literally just shutting their lights off in their pods. They're not turning up for this.
Some of them booed at her, a couple cheered, but I mean, it was like, it was very, very.
Yeah, sparse. She gets decimated on this floor.
Yeah.
But that's her whole gimmick. Like, that's her whole ruse. Is she's just trying to be an irritation. Like she says earlier, I'm an irritation this way so they don't see what I'm doing over here.
Yep. I think she says, I show you the stone in my hand so you don't take note of the dagger at your throat.
It obviously doesn't work for her for very long because she ends up on the run with the rebels here not too soon after this and the other rest of Star Wars.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, and then this is where we find out that, help me again, crazy. What's her name?
Vel and
thank
Mon
you.
are
Vel. Yeah, she's the lesbian Kathleen Kennedy required them to put in the show. She's not that bad. Like, they don't
push it down your throat.
Yeah, they have like one or two scenes where they're like, okay, I'm a lesbian, and you like roll your eyes, like, okay, Kathleen, this is super important to the plot that you get this in here or whatever. When it's
in
not.
The first 6 episodes, they only show her hand on Cinta's hand one time, and then I think it's 7 or 8. They have a little discussion about their love.
Yes.
And Cinta's like not all in with Vel, but Vel is all in with Cinta.
Yeah. Vel's like, hey, there's a room for rent. Let's go ahead and post up together. and we can watch for Andor together. And Cinta's like, no, that draws too much attention. We don't want that. She's very much dedicated to the mission. Yeah, they played off the relationship well enough.
Cinta even says, I told you from the very beginning, it's the rebellion gets it all, and then you get what's left. And I believe that breaks Belle's heart just a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, meanwhile, okay, he's coming up with a plan. That earlier shot where he's standing there with the black guy, he's sawing the pipes in the bathroom, and they're going to start a flood somehow for some reason. And yeah, right there, they're plotting it right there. They're looking up and they're saying, "Look, all of the moving parts of the bridge are not electrocuted. Look, that guy just grabbed the rail. Look, those guards have no safety shoes or whatever," and they're figuring it all out. And all he needs to know now, he needs to know how many guards per floor. And he keeps asking Andy Serkis, how many guards per floor? And he's like, shut up, you're going to get us killed. Get that out of your mind. You're torturing yourself. You're never getting out. Quit asking me that. And he just keeps pressing him, how many guards per floor? And then at the end,
it's when Olaf strokes out, right?
Yeah,
like he
yeah.
strokes out and he passes away, and the doctor comes. And the doctor comes in, who takes care of everything on the floor.
Yeah, right there. The doctor gives him some news. We can't save him. He's stroked out and whatever. And when the guard turns away to go get the gurney and bag, he tells them, they ask him what happened on 2, and he tells them they're all dead. No one is ever getting out of here alive. It's all a lie. And as they're walking away,
and that breaks Andy Serkis's character.
And that's like one of the best moments of the entire show. It's like as they're walking away, Andor says one more time. He says, how many guards per floor? And Andy just says, never more than 12. Boom. And it cut to the credits. Just like right there. Never more than 12. Like he's had it. And like he's been the whole time. He's in charge. He's the
floor leader.
The floor man, the shift manager, and he's a prisoner like all of them, but he's got the responsibility where if he fucks up, they get punished, and if they fuck up, he gets punished. And he's like very serious in like being the leader of these guys and making sure they don't fuck. He keeps saying, I have 270 days left, don't fuck it up. He's like, he just wants out, and then he finds out, oh, I'm never getting out. His whole attitude, he's like broke. He's just like, fuck it.
Yeah, it's a great moment here again. I don't know if we explained very clearly at the beginning, but the floors are electrified, which is why everybody's barefoot. I agree, Mo. What the hell? Like
this is one of my that show, The Boys. Have you seen that? This is one of my major criticisms for all major television shows. Okay, why that show, The Boys? It has what's her name, Maeve and Starlight. Okay, both of them, very pretty women, and then they've got what's his name, The Deep, and like, why do they show all the dudes' dicks and butts, and I have yet to see one fucking boob on this fucking show? Maybe like a background character in the orgy scene or something. Like why do you make a superhero show and fill it with male nudity and have no female nudity? Like, I have a problem with that.
That is true.
We need more girl power in some of these.
You get like great HBO shows, or even good ones. Like, think about True Blood. True Blood's a good show. You have a nice mix of perky breasts flopping around and man ass, because it's for everybody. But you get a mix. It's never too much of one or the other. I
don't like any man ass in any of my shows, really, that much.
Well, The Boys is made by Seth Rogen, who's super woke and kind of a piece of shit. So
Seth Rogen.
You're the one who told me to go watch it.
Well, yeah, but the show is funny.
It is funny. Seth Rogen though, he ruined like a whole episode of Invincible. I saw part of the second season, and man, he has a whole episode where his character does nothing except get killed. Damn it, Mo! It's not what I said.
I think Mo likes
Not a fan
bullying
of
Ape
Badass.
too.
Yeah, Ape deserves it more than me.
Oh shit!
Shift your focus. he's the one who came up with all this like symbolism and allegories and all this nonsense from Andor.
Damn! Shot to the heart. Oh man.
You want to wrap this up? Everyone's leaving anyway.
That's we got through it, man. I think we're good. Catch us next time when we go through the remaining, what? Are there just 3 left episodes of Andor?
I thought we said next week we're doing.
Next week we'll do that special edition. We'll do that. Then we'll come back. We'll save the last 3 episodes of Andor to fill in some gaps somewhere.
We'll save Andor for when we have another Droids episode.
Okay.
But thanks for showing up, Mo Big, Jeremy Burke, Angela Kirby, Felix Paul, Big Mike Boyce, E-Wag was here, Michael T, Kiwi Skirt, Aldous was here earlier.
Yeah, he didn't stay on today.
Well, that's because we made him mad about the whole bullying thing.
Sorry, Aldous.
Lost Brock Legacy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, thanks,
Hey,
PK. Later, Michael T. Later, Jeremy.
With his new name. Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone. We're out.
Peace.
Peace.